Hello. Hi, Stevie. Good morning. How are you? I know we texted a little. Um, how is everything going? Who else is here? Today, you know what I want to do? I want to continue Wednesday's class, kind of the way we did it. A flow, a breath and movement. I love that. Love it. So that's what we're going to do. Anything you want to chit chat about, Stevie? I think you heard, I think I said this on Wednesday, that we're probably going to try to go be in person in July. So let's see what happens with that. That's an option. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. I think it will. I think we're going to kind of get back in the swing of things. All right. Well, maybe I'll go and begin. And whoever comes. All right. So I'm gonna go back here. Prepare for today. Oh, I know what I need to do. I want to do okay, perfect. Take out any distractions. Well, whatever ones I can control. Okay. All right, for today's class, I'd like to focus on breath and stress reduction from our tissues by incorporating breath with movement. And yesterday I was mentoring a yoga therapy student, and we were discussing her protocol that she gave with this, that she was working with a woman. And she said, I asked her at the end of the session, like, what, do you have anything to quote? Did the lady make any comments at the end of the session? And she said, yeah. At the end of the session, she said, I can't believe it. I don't feel any pain. And this is a person that has chronic pain. And then the woman that I'm mentoring said to me, all I did with her was breath. And I said, that's one of the most powerful tools in the toolbox. So breath is so powerful, especially when you start to learn how to do it correctly using your diaphragm to breathe. When you start to use your diaphragm to breathe and ground your mental energy, there's so many things that happen, biochemical, physiological things that happen. And then from a contracted, tense state that muscles are holding themselves in, we actually start to soften that release. So today we're going to use breath. We're going to use breath with movement. You're going to be very present moment, because as you do a flow and you move in a practice, when you're moving through the joints, there's a raised awareness opportunity for how far should I go? What is my range of motion? And we're actually going to explore what a range of motion means. And your range of motion is your range of motion. So it shouldn't be that you get to this point. It should be that you begin your journey, and wherever your joints and your muscles and your fascia and your tendons allow you to go to is where you go. And when you stay present moment, you use your breath, especially if we use deep diaphragmatic breathing and we're stimulating and calming the nervous system, then that's going to, in the background, reduce held muscular stress. So today we're going to do breath, we're going to do movement. Try to keep your eyes closed as often as you can when you're doing the practice, so that you could be in your body to determine what is your range of motion, where's your journey, where should you go to, and also to notice where you have issues. So exploring what is the difference between a stretch and ouch. And that's one thing that's really fascinating as well. When I work with people or when I'm mentoring yoga therapy students and that we bring up this word pain, let's identify what the sensation is. What is the sensation? And let's call the sensation what it is. Because if you're doing something where you have a pretty strong stretch in your body, there's a range of motion within that stretch that gets more intense, more intense. Well, what is that feeling? Is that a painful feeling? Is that a stretching feeling? Is it appropriate? And this is a way that we start to soften our attachment to the word pain and the experience of pain. And this is how we heal ourselves, right? Heal ourselves in our mind, heal ourselves in our body. So in keeping your range of motion in your body, things in motion stay in motion. The more mobile and fluid your body is, the happier you're going to be, because the more you're going to be doing and the more confident you're going to be when you're doing it. So we're going to do a flowing practice, whatever that looks like for you. You're going to really be present moment with this. Closing your eyes if you can, that would be great. Closing your eyes whenever possible. And then letting this practice be whatever it is for you, because it's your practice. I'm your guide. I'm going to guide you to different postures, and they're going to be yours, and it's going to be your practice. So having a blanket handy will be a necessary part of this as well. So let's take the blanket, put the blanket at the top of your mat. Let's come down onto the ground. Let's really connect our mind and our body, and let's get this sensation and awareness of the diaphragm. And you'll need the blocking, you'll need a blanket and a strap, so put that strap off. Let's begin in a seated position. So if you can, sit with your block between your ankles and sit back like this with your knees bent, or even like this with the block between your heels. And then if that's not possible, sit in a crisscross-like position. So choosing whatever's appropriate for you. Step one, choosing what's your ability to sit, whether it's squatting, kneeling, or in a crisscross-like position. It's whatever it is for you. So be where you are. Let's allow the 6 ranges of motion of the lungs, and let's feel that. There's a forward, backwards movement, a side-to-side movement, and an up and down movement. So let's start to warm up the apparatus of the lungs in the seated position so we can allow that to happen. And then we'll go down onto the ground and really work with diaphragm and with belly. So close your eyes, sit wherever you can. Bring your elbows right alongside your body, and then bring your palms onto your thighs. Elbows are alongside your body and right under your shoulders. That's going to be the safest place for the shoulders to be, for the shoulder joint. Close your mouth, begin to breathe in and out through your nose. Bring your awareness to the front of your chest, breathe forward, keep your mouth closed, breathe in and out through the nose. Bring your awareness to the back of your rib cage, back of your body. Breathe in and back. Bring your awareness to the sides. Breathe in into the sides. Mouth is closed, breathing in through the nose. Get wider. And feel it all the way up to your armpits. Now breathe in and breathe straight up to your head. Feel the rise of the upper chest, right around the clavicle bones and the upper shoulder blade area at the back of your body. See if you feel anything shifting in your head. Any release of pressure, any sounds, any clicking, any shifting in the cervical spine, and noticing what you notice. Breathe in and up. Can you feel yourself getting taller? Now breathing in and down to the lower ribs, to the belly, to the block, to where you're sitting, whatever you're sitting on or around. Breathe in and down, let your lower torso fill with breath and with pressure. Feel that pressure develop with the inhale. When you breathe down and you feel that pressure, can you feel a slight lift right in the middle of your torso as your middle spine gets longer as you breathe in and down? Feel the end of it, the rebounding effect of breathing in down to your belly and that rebound lift that comes into your spine. And then take one more breath. Let your breath go. Noticing your rib cage, your torso expanding. We're going to bring ourselves down onto the ground. If you'd like to keep your eyes closed, you could keep your eyes closed, taking your block off to the side, or if you need to open your eyes to look, to explore, do that. Whatever you do, it's your practice. Bring yourself onto your side, reach your hand long, bringing yourself down onto the ground. The blanket is there, and then arrange the blanket so it's only supporting your head and maybe the neck area. Try not to have the blanket too high because you want gravity here to start stretching and correcting your posture and your spine. Keep your knees bent, feet are flat. Dig your arms into the ground. Lift your rib cage up and away from the ground. Slide the shoulder blades towards the center, and then place your rib cage back down so that your shoulder blades are locked towards the ground with the weight of your body. Lift your head up. Let's begin with some movement on the body and feeling the breath move your body. Take your hands, bring your arms alongside your body, then bring your hands onto your belly. Spread your fingers a lot. Begin to breathe into your belly. Keeping your mouth closed, noticing what you notice. Start to get a little bit deeper and bigger and stronger with your belly when you can. And see if you could feel stretching taking place in your body with breath. Let your mind be in your body, feeling your body breathe. The diaphragm is moving down towards the belly, creating pressure. See if you could feel the low back, the sacrum, the tailbone, the pelvis, the waist, the lower ribs. And see if you can slow your breath down. Noticing if your mind gets distracted, are you able to stay with your breath? Keep bringing your awareness back to your breath, noticing all you notice in your body with breath. And then finishing up your last couple of breaths. If you want to straighten your legs for them, see if that makes a difference. And let your breath go back to your body. Keep your mouth closed. Become an observer and notice, where is it? What's the quality of the breath? Is it shallow? Is it deep? Long or short? And then begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, bringing your awareness to your body, noticing what you notice. Reach long with your arms, long with your legs. Stretch your body, maybe even spreading your legs wide, fingertips, reaching out the fingertips, reaching out the heels, reaching out the soles of the hands, creating as much stretch as you can in this supine lying on the ground position. Then begin to take your arms out to the side as wide as you can. This is a great way to stretch chest, shoulders, to stretch the spine, to stretch the psoas, which is a muscle that attaches to the low lumbar spine, and then to notice where you may have issues. So for those with hip issues, with low back issues, noticing if this in a straight position is uncomfortable, because then you have the opportunity to learn what you need to work on in your body to help stabilize your pelvis and your skeleton in a way that will be pain-free. Take one more breath and then bend your legs. Let's go into the head, to the neck, to the 7 vertebrae of the spine. We're going to move that part of our spine, and let's take the arms out to the side. The wider the arms are, or the higher the arms are, the more stretch it'll be. So explore where range of motion is for you to rest your arms, that you feel a decent stretch where your arms attach to your body. And then bring your awareness to your head. Inhale. As you exhale, awareness is on the tip of your nose, and let the tip of your nose move to the side. And then inhale with the tip of the nose straight back up to point straight up towards the sky. Exhale, tip of the nose goes in the other direction, over towards the side. And inhale, tip of the nose is back up. Continue with this movement, tip of the nose is to the side, and then the tip of the nose comes back up. Moving side to side. Feeling the sensation, and what will you label that sensation? Is that sensation a stretch, or do you feel a compression as the joints move into each other in an uncomfortable way? And when you going to the end range of motion, is that sensation a lot? Would it go into the category of painful? Or would it go into a certain level of intensity? Noticing, labeling, experiencing, and then creating a healthy relationship with body sensations. Finish your last movement, bring yourself back to center, coming up here. Let's bring our awareness now to the lower spine, the lumbar spine, as you start to tilt your pelvis back and then roll towards your tailbone. Tilt your pelvis back, roll towards your tailbone. Keep your feet body distance. Soles of the feet are on the ground, knees are pointing up towards the sky, rolling towards the tip of your tailbone, and then flattening the low back into the ground. Stretching the low back, moving through extension and flexion. When your low back is away from the ground and your pelvis is on the ground and you're coming to your tailbone, that's an extension curve. That's the natural curve it's in. Notice if you feel, what are the sensations? Now tilting your pelvis back, using the core muscles to do that. Try to flatten the top of the pelvis onto the ground. Push your low back to the ground. What's the sensation there? For many, that's a relief sensation because you're taking the natural curve and you're bringing in relief to the way that your spine, its natural home, and you're bringing it into a relief position. This is called a posterior tilt. It's called lumbar flexion. It stretches the muscles and the back of the spine and the back of the body. And maybe that's not what happens for you. So it's your practice. What's happening? Be your own yoga therapist. Yoga therapy is when we customize the practice of yoga for specific needs. These are your specific needs. Bring yourself back to center. Move yourself side to side a little and feel the connection of you with the ground, your sacrum onto the ground. Let's take the feet as wide as the mat, not off, but almost as wide. The arms are to the side. Soles of the feet are on the ground. Awareness is on the kneecaps. Exhale, and as you inhale, let your kneecaps move towards the left. Keep the soles of the feet on the ground as far as they'll go, noticing what you notice, and then exhale back to center. Inhale, kneecaps are going to move over to the right. They will with the soles of the feet on the ground, noticing what you notice, back to center. Inhale, kneecaps to the left, back to center, and kneecaps to the right. Keep the soles of the feet on the ground. You're moving the hip joint. Do you feel the stretch there? Do you feel it up into your torso? Does it feel good? Does it feel okay? What's happening to the low back? And if your low back is unhappy, then tilt your pelvis back a little, trying to push the low back towards the ground, and continue with your kneecaps side to side. Does that change the sensation? And if so, how does it feel? And then bring yourself back to center. Let's take the feet all the way off the mat, really wide here. Exhale. Inhale, let your kneecaps go to the left, and roll on your feet so that your soles come off. You roll onto the big toe of the right foot and the little toe side of the left. Inhale. As you exhale, contract your core, push your belly button to your spine, and lift the heavy legs back up slowly using the muscles. Inhale slowly, kneecaps are moving over to the right, soles of the feet are rolling off the ground. Exhale, contract your core, push your belly button to your spine, feel the sacrum in the ground as you come back up. Go slow, use muscles, strengthening your hips, strengthening your pelvic area, your low back, and your core. Go slow. One more each side. Let your legs be pushing away from you and going over to the side. Get a little deeper stretch. Bringing yourself back up to center. Walk your feet back to center. Walk your feet closer to your body. Draw one knee in and then draw the other knee in and rock your body side to side. So keeping your eyes closed, using your breath with your movements, letting your mind be in the areas we're working so you can notice what is your range of motion? What is safe for you? Strengthening the joints when you go slowly, lengthening, contracting muscles, and really working on joint strength, which is so important for healthy aging. Bring your knees back down onto the ground. Let's work the core so that we stabilize our pelvis when we do some of the leg movements and the other movements we do or that we'll be doing today. So your knees are bent, your feet are flat, close your eyes, exhale, inhale. As you exhale, draw your left knee into your chest and then inhale to lower that leg down. Exhale, right knee comes into the chest. Exhale to lower down. Your eyes are closed. Notice your pelvis. Keep your pelvis stable. Don't let it move at all. But with the eyes closed as you exhale to draw the leg in, notice the pelvis and the work that needs to take place with the stabilizing muscles to stabilize your pelvis so it doesn't tilt as you lift one leg in. Farther away from your body your feet are, the more intense this will be. So if you wanted a little bit more core work, a little bit more stabilizing work, if that was in your practice. And then notice the leg when it comes in, does it wobble? Notice how much your body has to hold when you start to lift that leg off. Eyes are closed. Is anything happening in your spine? Do you feel any bones moving? Any joints realigning? You exhale to bring your leg in. You inhale to let your leg go down. One more. And then bring yourself down. Exhale. Inhale. On the exhale, draw the left leg in. Slowly draw the left leg towards your chest. Pull the left leg towards your chest so the left side flattens into the ground. And as you inhale slowly, go slow. Let that left leg go back to neutral. Joint strengthening for the hip and the spine when you go slow. Inhale to lower, and then let's prepare for the other side. And then we'll do this with just moving with breath. Inhale. As you exhale, draw the right knee in slowly, slowly, slowly. Notice what's happening to your neck, to your torso. Draw the knee in. What's happening right where the leg attaches to your body? How does that feel? You inhale slowly to release that leg, noticing what you notice. Exhale, left leg comes in. Go slow. Is your pelvis shifting side to side, Or are you able to manage it with your core and stabilizing muscles? If you want to straighten the legs, you could straighten the opposite leg and come from a straight leg position. A little harder. You exhale to draw your knee in. You inhale to straighten. It's going to be a bigger lever, more muscular work for that hip joint, more need for stabilization in the pelvis for that lower spine when that leg moves away. Doing what's appropriate for you. Eyes are closed, feeling and noticing. One more. And then bend your knees. If they're straight, draw your knees into your chest. Let's come into a happy baby because that could be a lot of low back work, a lot of work for the back muscles. So happy baby, you take your legs straight and then you draw them in and then you bend them. Holding onto your big toes if that's available for you. And then grab your strap. Let's stretch the back of the legs. Take the feet into the strap. We're going to stretch the back of the legs and the low back and the glutes. So you're going to bring your legs back towards that wall behind you. There could be a bend in your knees. You're going to stretch your hamstrings, maybe even into your glutes. So do what's appropriate here for you, your body. The legs are straight. You make it a little bit more intensity in the stretch if that's available to you. Push out on the strap. Soles of the feet are up towards the sky. Stretching muscles in the back of the body. Let your low back be heavy and pressing into the ground. And then release. Take your strap and make a loop in your strap. And if you don't have a loop, you're going to tie it. So you're going to get the strap. Don't make it too big and don't make it too small. You're going to thread your legs through this. So you're going to put your feet through this and then bring it up to the top thighs so that you have about a fist distance between your thighs. And then you put your feet on the ground. So we're going to do a flowing bridge, undulating the spine, trying to bend the spine and open the front of the spine as much as possible. Eyes are closed the whole time. We will not have the blanket back behind our head. You want to make sure you don't come up at an angle. You really want to put as much bend into your spine as possible. And having the strap there will give you a little bit more range of motion. You can have your arms down alongside your body or arms are bent. It's your practice, your spine, exploring what feels appropriate for you. Take the blanket away from the back of the head. Arms are in the ground, slide the shoulder blades back, and then bring your hands into whatever position you'd like. Walk your feet closer to your body, push out on your strap. Begin by tilting your pelvis backwards, flattening the low back into the ground, long neck. Exhale. As you inhale, push out on your strap. Start to lift your pelvis up, bending your spine in the back, stretching your spine in the front. Exhale to lower. Go slow and notice if there's wobbling side to side. Really pushing your feet into the floor, stabilizing your trunk when you come up and when you come down. Pushing down on the strap, push your foot into the floor. You inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Try to bend your spine as much as you can. Go slow so you could work a little longer in the joints, making this a little more specific to joint health, coaxing in more range of motion. Slow down. Last few. And then bring yourself all the way down. Take the blanket back behind your head. Draw your knees into your chest. Take the strap off. Knees are into the chest. Come into a happy baby by holding underneath your hamstring area. Draw your legs close to your body. Maybe feeling the inner thighs stretch. Low back presses into the ground, stretching glutes, hamstrings. Bringing your lower lumbar into that flexion position for relief. And then bring your legs together. Bring yourself onto your side. Coming onto your side, close your eyes. Mouth is closed, breathing, noticing what you notice here in your body. How does your back feel? How do your hips feel? How do your glutes feel? Take your hand on the ground. You're going to slowly, go slow, be in the shoulder joint here, strengthening that shoulder joint. Bring yourself up. And then when you come up, notice how you feel. So these slower flowing practices can be so great for strengthening parts of our body that will keep us mobile and healthy in our joints, which is really important because it is at the place of the joints where most chronic pain in the body shows up, right? It's usually the knees, something's going on the feet, the ankles, the hips, the back, the neck, the shoulders. So whenever there's body pain, it's in the area of the joints. So doing this slower, connected practice, taking that time to strengthen, to lengthen, to explore, and then to create that relationship of this is appropriate for me. This is where I should go. This is where I can go. Really important for healthy aging. All right, let's continue with this practice. Now we're going to be using our body weight. So we're going to get a little bit more intensity. And this is where you really need to pay attention to what you're doing because you want to be able to stay safe and to stay in the happy place when you're practicing yoga. And because yoga is strengthening and stretching joints, we want to be careful that we don't go too crazy because it can happen. So actually bring your blanket underneath your knees, right? When you're stretching your joints or stretching your muscles, you could stretch too much. The way you're going to be knowing that is if you are connected when you're doing it. So let's come on to all fours and crawl around your space so we can really nicely set our joints. So it could be backwards and forwards. It could be on the blanket if you need that, or it could be in a circular pattern if that works for you. Keep your head up. And this actually helps to set almost every single joint in the body or reset it. And then bringing yourself back to center, bring yourself up. That was a way to introduce a little bit of weight bearing into your wrists. So let's do a little flowing movement here, a little more introduction of weight into your wrists. Take your hands forward and wide. Take your legs pretty far apart and start to push yourself around in your joints, side to side. When you push yourself side to side, straight side to side, you'll feel maybe where your legs attach to your body stretching. Close your eyes. If you want to go slower and make this be about breath, inhale to one side, exhale back to center, inhale the other side. And then bring yourself back to center, forward and back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Close your eyes, feel how your hip joint is moving. Your spine is in a neutral position. Bring your awareness to your shoulders as you go forward and back in the shoulder joint. How does this feel? And then the hips are bending. Start to go a little bit farther. So you exhale back a little farther, you inhale forward. If you're able to go back when you exhale so that your forehead comes to the ground and touches the ground, or your nose, the tip of the nose touches the ground. Try that. See if you can get back that far with your knees. Keep your tushy high. You exhale back, you inhale forward. You inhale forward, you exhale back. You're bending your hip. Bring your awareness to your hip. What do you feel there in your hip joint? And the next time you come back, stay back. Stay here. If you'd like to walk your hands a little farther and stretch your arms, keep your arms straight. Find a position here that feels appropriate for you. Take one more breath. Then leading with your head, bring your head up. Bring yourself up. Releasing the tension from your wrists, from your hands. Shaking your hands. So we're going to do a little spinal movement here, moving through extension and not really flexion. So flexion is when you round your spine. But for anyone with osteoporosis, that's an absolute no-no. And because 50% of the people over age 50 have bone density issues and potentially muscular issues, I think it's safe for most of us to not do it because the tendency during the day anyway is to be in a forward position. So really minimizing that flexion. Where you can bring that and where it is really therapeutic is to bring it into the lumbar spine, the lower back. So really bringing yourself into that lumbar. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this movement with a spinal balance where we draw the leg in, and the leg is going to come in. When the leg comes in towards your chest, that actually causes that flexion in the lower back. And then the hand will come down to the ground. We'll inhale up and we'll exhale to draw the knee into the chest. Okay, so we're going to try that. So we're going to be weight bearing on our wrist. If you need to modify. We're going to do a breath. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to feel and notice a lot of back strengthening here, core strengthening here, hip joint and shoulder joint because we're weight bearing on them. And then you really get that core and you get that side to be activated. So you're going to feel your core working here. So establish yourself by stacking your joints. Your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Your knees are directly underneath your pelvis, and don't have your hands too wide or your feet or your knees too wide. Let's take the right leg back and the left hand forward. And you keep your head active as well. Now push your right hand into the floor a lot. Exhale. Inhale to lift. Exhale, draw the right knee in, bring the left hand down, keep your head active. Inhale. Exhale, go slow and work on stabilizing your trunk. So core work, spinal stabilizing work. Slower is harder. One more. Let's switch. Left hand down, right hand out, left hand long, left leg long. Exhale. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Continue moving at your pace. Go slow. One more. Bring yourself all the way up to a kneeling position. Take a break here. Hands are down alongside your body. This is a mountain in a kneeling position. Close your eyes if you can, or minimize your gaze. Catch your breath. Take one more breath. And then allow your eyes to open. We're going to come to the other side, or to this. We're going to come into, okay. Let me clear my cobwebs in my brain. Let's come into some lateral movements to stretch our body. We're going to come into gate latch posture. So bring your foot out to the side. We're going to do this with movement. Bringing your leg out to the side so you're weight bearing on the standing leg. You want to try to get your foot to point forward, your toes to point forward, and make a real solid foundation. And then noticing what's happening in this hip, let your mind go here. You may need to walk your leg forward. It may be a little bit more comfortable for you if this is a little forward of your body. So find what your joint alignment, what's the proper joint alignment for you in this posture. Hand is on your thigh, other hand is down alongside your body. Heart is lifted, spine is long. Exhale. As you inhale, turn your palm up, bring your hand up towards the sky, slide your hand down your leg, and then exhale to come down. Inhale. Not a huge movement, but feel that stretch on the side of the arm that's going up in the air. Close your mouth, close your eyes if you could, feeling and noticing what you're noticing in your body. One more. And then bring yourself back to center. Come to the other side, taking your leg away from you, your foot away from you. Toes are forward, pinky toe edge, growing out of your pelvis. Take your hand down your leg, other hand to the side. Exhale. Turn the palm up as you inhale, exploring lateral flexion on this side. Inhale. If at any point you're able to close your eyes, feeling and noticing what's happening in your body, try that. Taking your last breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Bring yourself into a resting position, whether that's kneeling, seated, whatever it is for you, closing your eyes, closing your mouth, and breathing down to your belly. And then opening your eyes. So continuing with this breath and movement. So if you go slow, you're going to develop a lot of strength in your body and make that connection of body and mind. And it can be really, honestly, a great way to develop strength in a safe and slow manner. Sometimes I prefer this as opposed to holding a posture where I have to challenge. It's so much more of a challenge. I find that all of this movement in a very slow manner is so therapeutic and really great for strengthening joints. So we're going to do this next posture. We're going to do a forearm plank, and we're going to do it with movement, taking our knee away from the ground and seeing if that works for you, and then maybe from there, lifting feet off the ground. So you're going to do whatever is appropriate for you in this posture. This is a lot of core and trunk stability work, which is great for balance and fall prevention. And so really important for that. You're going to hold the block like this. Your arms are together. So you take your hand, you make it like the shape of the letter L, and you put the block right in that L on both sides. You're pushing with your pointer fingers in, turning on the shoulder girdle stabilizers. And you'll do whatever is appropriate for you. Before you come down, let me show you something. So what we're going to do is this, and we're either going to lift one leg off at a time, and then at some point we'll come up and maybe we'll leave one foot at a time. Okay, so it's going to be dependent on what is appropriate for you. Maybe you never leave, maybe you just do knees, or maybe you don't even do that. Maybe you stay in a modified dolphin or forearm plank and you visualize that you're lifting a knee off. So that's also part of this, is that you visualize the movement you can't do to try to bring that into your awareness. There's actually studies on that show that sometimes it's as effective. They did that with Italian basketball players, where half of them were shooting baskets, actually literally shooting baskets, and the other half were visualizing shooting baskets. And both teams did almost the same, and the visualizers actually made more baskets when it came to actually doing it. So visualization can be very profound for integrating the functional aspect of movement into our body. So let's do that. You're going to take your knees all the way to the back edge of your blanket. You could even move your blanket a little bit down, actually, onto your mat. Then coming to the very end of your blanket, you're gonna push your block forward so that your forearms come down on the ground right underneath your elbows and right underneath your shoulders. So elbows are right underneath shoulders. And then you push into your block. From here, flip your toes under. Make sure your neck is nice and long. Exhale. Inhale to lift one knee away. And exhale to lower. Actually, let's switch the breath. We're going to lift on the exhale when you can bring the power into the core. Inhale. Exhale, lift one knee away. Inhale to bend. Exhale, the opposite. Go slow. Keep your head active. If you want to try to lift both feet off, flip your toes under, bring both knees off. Inhale. And as you exhale, lift one foot off. Inhale to lower. Exhale the other. Choose whatever variation you like. Knees are down or knees are up. Exhale to do the work. Inhale to relax. Wherever you are, let's do one more each side. Then you're going to bring yourself down, coming into a sphinx. Let your pelvis be on the mat. Keep the block there. Flatten your toes. Walk your elbows closer together. Push your hands into the floor and into the block. And then push your rib cage forward. Bring length into your torso and push away from the ground so you feel a stretch in your belly. Breathe to your belly. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your nose high. Exhale. Inhale, let your nose lift up and to one side as if you were trying to look at your heel. And then exhale, lift your nose up back to center. Inhale, lift your nose up and look over towards the other heel. And then inhale up back to center. Or exhale back to center. Inhale to look, even if the eyes are closed. Feel the stretch in your body. See if you could feel that stretch. Top of the psoas. Top of those core and stabilizing muscles in the trunk right by the low ribs. One more each side. And then bring yourself back to center. Take the block off to the side. Walk your body long. Take your elbows out to the side. Let your forehead rest on the back of your hands. And feel that relief for the low back. Wiggle your pelvis back and forth, side to side. So we're going to lift one leg at a time with breath. On the inhale, we'll lift the leg, and on the exhale, we'll slowly lower it. So your legs are coming right off of your body. Your hands are resting on your forearms or on the back of your hands. Forearms are on the ground. Exhale. Inhale, lift a leg straight up towards the sky. Inhale slowly to lower, or exhale slowly to lower. Inhale, lift a leg straight up towards the sky. Exhale slowly to lower. Notice your pelvis, notice your low back. Notice what happens to the front of the thigh. Close your eyes. If you want to try 2 at the same time, see how that feels for your back and for your body. Push your pubic bone towards the ground. That'll help with the low back. One more. Take your legs really wide. Let your legs come straight off of your body. We're going to bend the upper spine, moving away from the ground in a back bend, stretching the front of the body, contracting the back. Exhale. As you inhale, push as if you were pushing a marble away with your nose. Push away from the ground. Let your head come up off the ground on the inhale, and on the exhale, lower down. Inhale. And exhale. Feel that stretch in the front of your body by the low ribs. One more. And then bring yourself back. Bring your hands out to the side. Forehead is on the ground. Arms are out to the side. Elbows come straight off your armpits. Spread your hands. Exhale. Inhale, marble, pushing away with your nose, lifting yourself up, and exhale to lower. Posture muscles, fall prevention muscles, head and neck support muscles, spinal muscles. Inhale to rise, exhale to lower. Strong spine. And then bring yourself down. Take your hands, spread your hands wide. Elbows are to the side. Bring the big toes to touch. Exhale. So your hands are at the side. Hands are spread. Thumbs are on the mat. Fingers are off the mat. Elbows are up towards the sky and in towards your body. Push your hands down into the floor a lot and feel like you're trying to slide them back towards your feet. That'll give you a little relief in your back. Exhale. As you inhale, push a marble away with your nose. Bring yourself up. You'll come up a little higher. This is a cobra posture, a back bend. Exhale to lower. Close your eyes. Inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. Feel what's stretching. Feel what's strengthening. Make sure it feels appropriate. What's your range of motion? What's perfect for you? Finishing your last few moves. And then bringing yourself down. Take your hands, fold your hands, put your forehead on your hands. Take your legs wide, bend your knees, and let your feet flop side to side. Legs are wide, knees are bent, feet are right above your knee joint. And then come back to neutral. Take your arm, come onto your side. Take your hand onto the ground. You're going to push yourself away and up to rearrange your space. Taking your blanket to the top part of your mat and bring yourself down onto your back. Blanket is underneath your head. Get your block. Bring your feet closer to your body. Push your feet into the floor. Lift your pelvis up. Move your pelvis off to the left. Keep your rib cage where it is. Move the pelvis off to the left. Then draw the knees in. Arms are to the side. Knees are pretty high. Let your body rotate over to the right. From here, you either put the block underneath your knees to keep your shoulder blades on the ground, or maybe even in between your legs. Take your right hand on top. Let your head go to the left. Feel that stretch in your body. Push your pelvis away from your rib cage inside your body. Create space on your left side. Take breaths to your left side body. Feel the diaphragm moving down, stretching, releasing, relieving. Take one more breath. We're going to switch, bringing your knees up, coming back to center. You push your feet into the floor to lift your pelvis up. Come back to neutral at first. Then lift your pelvis up, push it off to the left. Switch the block into your left hand. Draw your knees in and bring your legs over to the left, keeping your shoulder blades on the ground and using the block wherever you need in order to support that. Hand is on top of the right thigh if that's fair for you, if that works for your body. Head is to the right. Close your eyes, deep breaths. Feel the breath, how it stretches. Feel the breath, how it relieves and releases and relaxes. Finishing up your last breath. Leaving the block on this side. Bring yourself back to center. Push your feet into the floor. Pelvis back to knees or into the chest. Rocking side to side. We're going to come into Shavasana, letting everything that was practiced today find a home and a space in your body. Lubricated joints, lengthened, strengthened joints, more space in your body. So bring yourself into Shavasana. Stay connected to your breath during your Shavasana. Stay here and now. Let your mind go in your body and explore and notice what you notice. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your ankles, your wrists. And then bend the knees, draw the knees into your chest. Rocking side to side. And come onto your side. Take your hand onto the ground, pushing yourself away from the ground to come up, to close the practice. Bring yourself into a comfortable position and bring your hands together, hands to the heart. Press the hands to the heart, heart to the hands, nice and tall in your spine. We'll close with a gentle humming sound. Exhale. Inhale. Bowing in gratitude. Really important for you to take care of you for the rest of your life. Yoga, flowing through yoga, using that body awareness, really amazing. Going slow, bringing in even more strength into your joints, into those stabilizing muscles of the joints. Nice and therapeutic practice. All right, well, that feels good. I feel definitely calm and relaxed, yet strong. And I think my core, I'll definitely feel. We did a lot of core work today. Even if it didn't feel like it was labeled core, A lot of those movements, when the leg moves away from the body and then towards the body, a lot of that is core based. You're using core muscles. Hi, Marianne. Nice to have you here. I didn't see you guys before. Jean, hello. Oh, yeah, Jean, things have shifted for us, right? We're like, wait, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to act? What should I be doing? Oh, shoot, Stevie, I hope you were able to get it. Oh, this would be so perfect for Scotland, Stevie. I hope you were there. Michael, great, thumbs up. All right, that reminds me. What are those two guys' names? What were those film critics' names that started that? Oh gosh, how come I can't think of them? The thumbs up guys. Siskel and Ebert or something like that? Good, Jean. Thanks. Great to have you here. You're welcome. Yeah, wonderfully intense. That is perfect. I love that. If I were going to name this practice, it would be wonderfully intense. I love that. All right, perfect. Well, thank you, Stevie. I hope that you were able to hear. And I don't feel like I talked as much today. Like I'm trying to not always talk, like give direction that can happen without me having to say things all the time. All right. So the webinar or the summit is beginning this week. More natural approaches to osteoporosis. I'm a speaker on that. I'm going to put a link up on my site. I'm not sure if that's up there. If you're in my newsletter, you'll get a newsletter about it on Monday. And Bali is coming up in August. And actually, I think there's only a few spots left for Bali at this point, maybe one or two. What else? Scotland's happening. That's full. And Healthy Gut, Healthy Bones. If you want to run functional labs and uncover root causes of bone loss, my next group course is coming up. Doors open now until the end of April. So lots of stuff's happening. And then podcasts. Podcast interview I did with physical therapist Lori Rubenstein. She talked about skeletal uniqueness in our joints and exploring our range of motion. So today's practice was very much patterned after me editing the video that I'm going to be uploading on YouTube soon. The podcast is already launched, but I also have video aspect to it. So anyway, have a beautiful day, healthy and strong forever. So you could go to Scotland and Bali with me. That'll be our goal. So we could travel. For me, it's for traveling. For you, it might be something else. Might be pickleball, might be playing with grandkids, might be biking, whatever it is. That's the goal. All right. Thanks so much. Have a beautiful day. And I'll see you whenever I do next class.